Hi, what's up everyone and welcome to the video. I am GCROCK and today I just wanted to give you a new beginner's guide to a Watch Mule on the Division 2 in 2024. I have done these videos before, but they have really changed things up in the latest update, and this has changed how a Watch Mule works to your advantage as well. So we're going to be going over all these details today, how to create a Watch Mule and why you'd want to even do that. So the first question is, for beginners I guess, is what is a Watch Mule? It's just a term that is used by players which they call new characters that they use to basically get to end game again and spend all their watch points again. One of the mechanics in the Division 2 is that once you've got your watch and you've got your watch level, if you start a new character and get to end game, that watch level is given to that new character, allowing you to respend all of those levels. And you can really use this to your advantage, as I'll show you throughout this video. I do just want to stress again before we continue that the higher the watch level, the more beneficial a Watch Mule is. So if you are fresh to the game, you haven't got a watch level yet, or you haven't got a high one, then this is going to be less beneficial to you. It's still going to be great information though, but the higher the better. You can see I'm at 2,559. A Watch Mule is highly beneficial to me at this point, but if I get that even higher, it becomes more beneficial, and you will see as we go why. So what you're going to need is a spare character slot. A Watch Mule is based on creating a new agent, and as I said at the start, this is how you get to reuse your watch levels again, and this is why we call them a Watch Mule. And since the last update, anybody can do this now. This used to be only a thing that people that own the expansion could do, because you couldn't get a watch without the expansion. In the last update, they have combined level 30 and level 40 endgame, and even people without the expansion now can get to level 40 and get a hold of Aaron Keener's watch. So you're now included in this, and you're able to do this also. So with that said, there's two ways of creating this new character now and getting to level 30 as quick as possible. If you click on new agent, it's got to give you the option to select which campaign you want to start if you own the expansion. So if you do own the expansion like I do, you can just jump straight to Warlords of New York, and that is what you're going to want to do. So just skip to the expansion. However, if you do not own the expansion, you can't boost to New York, which means you are going to have to start a fresh character at level 0 in DC. And before we can skip to level 30, we do need to complete the tutorial. The tutorial is complete as soon as you get to the White House and you select your first skill. So with that done, your next task now is to get to level 40 as quick as possible to get Aaron Keener's watch. You can see we're only level 2 without the expansion, but we can still get to level 30 very, very quickly. If we bring up the menu and go into the store, head over to add-ons, there will be a level 30 character boost that you're able to use. Now, if you own the expansion like I do, this level 30 boost is free. I can use this for every new character that I make. If you don't own the expansion, I do believe there's a cost to this, and I have no idea what that is. So if you do know, post down in the comments, let us know how much this costs without the expansion. But I'm going to guess that you're probably better off just purchasing the expansion. All that extra gameplay to play, everything else that comes along with that, the map, the missions. I'd recommend that if this is something that you're going to want to do, because then you can just skip straight to New York rather than having to start in DC. But that's entirely up to you. If you don't want to own the expansion, this option to get to level 30 is there for you. The whole point of a Watch Mule is to get to level 40 as quick as you can, and this is going to help you do that. The start of a Watch Mule, if you do own the expansion, is slightly easier, I guess, because you do skip straight to level 30 if you skip to the expansion when you create a new character. Still, just like when starting with a DC character, you are going to have a little bit of a tutorial that you need to complete. And to complete the tutorial, you just need to reach Haven and interact with this door here where you'll meet Faye and Rhodes. After this, you'll unlock the Aaron Keener manhunt, and you are ready to go. You now just want to get to level 40 as quick as possible. So now you know how to get to level 30 as quick as possible with or without the expansion. How do you get to level 40? Well, this has changed as well with the recent update, because beforehand, as it was only expansion owners that could do this, you'd have to complete the whole expansion. You'd have to go through the manhunt, get to the Aaron Keener mission, defeat him, and get the watch. And this could be done very quickly with friends that have powerful characters. Get it done in about an hour and a half or less. But if you're doing it by yourself, it could take up to anywhere from like 3 to 5 hours, depending how efficient you were solo. So it was a bit of a grind, but this has changed now because they have combined the level 30 and level 40 end games to make one end game. They had to open the ability to travel back to DC if you own the expansion. So now we're in Haven and we're ready to start the expansion. We're now able to go back to DC. This wasn't the case before, but you can level up very fast in DC. So regardless of if you own the expansion or not, once you get to level 30, we're now going to discuss the fastest ways to get to 40. I actually did this video 4 weeks ago. You can see it's on 27,000 hits already there, and the thumbnail, level 0 to 40 in 15 minutes. And it's not lying. I am going to link this video down in the description if you want to watch this in full, in more detail. But I will briefly go over it now, how to get to level 40 super quickly if you have friends. I lost a recording for this for whatever reason, so I'm going to have to show you from the YouTube recording, which might lose a bit of quality here. But in a nutshell, all you want to do at level 30 is get a few friends together. If you don't have friends, feel free to use our Discord. That will also be linked down below, and ask about for people to help you. And you want your friends to put the world on, or a mission on heroic. A mission like Lincoln Memorial is perfect, which is what we used, and tell them to put on as many directives as possible. So I've just jumped into Para's game here with my level 32 character, just got it to Haven and did the tutorial, gone back to DC. And you can see he's got all 5 directives on there. Complete the mission and you get a lot of XP. You see I got 530,000 XP there, and I've got up to level 34 with just that one mission completion. Now, if you've got a few people, I've just accepted another friend invite because I had 3 people or 4 people doing this with me. I've just completed that mission, and I've got another friend, Smeggy, ready to invite me to the next Lincoln Memorial. So I'm jumping in onto this other Lincoln Memorial now. My friends are basically just getting to the end of these missions with all directives on, so I can just hop on each one of them to get the mission completion with them. It is super quick. So we just went up 2 levels on the last one. I fast traveled straight away to Smeggy to get some more XP and go up more levels. And I've already got an invite from another friend incoming who's at an end of another mission to give me a ton of XP. So again, I just accept that invite to the end of that mission, get the mission completed for all that XP again. As I said in that thumbnail on the video that you've seen, you can go from level 0 to level 40 within 15 minutes using what I've just spoke about to you today. So get into level 30 as quick as you can, and then get into level 40 as quick as you can with friends. You just keep on accepting those mission invites. They'll all be lined up for you. You'll be level 40 in no time. But what if you don't have any friends and you don't want to use the Discord to look for a group with somebody else to get help? This is the biggest complaint I had on that video. They were saying, well, everything's easier with friends. I don't have no friends. And they didn't really want to jump in a Discord to try and find people to do this. And they wanted to do it solo. So obviously that option isn't going to work for you. And you're not going to be able to play heroic 5 directive missions yourself, because you just can't. You're still only level 31 at this point, and you need to get to 40 naturally if you're solo. You can still take advantage though. And you kind of have 2 options. If you own the expansion, you can go to New York and just complete that. But as I said before, that's probably going to take you about 3 hours or more to do that. You can instead take advantage of the fact that you can level up in DC. And rather than doing it naturally, what you want to do is go and unlock a dark zone. So I'm going to go to DZ East now and unlock the main entrance. The beautiful thing about the DZ at this point is that you have a level 30 to 39 dark zone. It's going to be separate from the level 40 endgame dark zone, which means you're probably going to be left alone and you're able to enter the dark zone and just farm levels. Now, obviously, you're not going to have a build at this point, but it shouldn't matter so much because the levels are going to scale to you. Just make sure while you go in and you're collecting loot and you're leveling up with field proficiencies that you do improve your build as you go, as you would on any normal level grind. And then the best way to level up is then just to go landmark to landmark. These are going to give you XP. They'll give you much better XP than outside, and you'll level up relatively quickly. So just keep on completing landmarks and leveling up until you get to level 40. I have just this minute got done with a solo DZ grind myself, and it took around 2 hours, which isn't as good as 15 minutes, of course, but if you are solo, it's not too bad and better than a Warlords of New York run. Better yet, you can get exotics, as you just seen on screen now, and with the Dark Zone, there's a chance of the Eagle Bearer to drop, the Ravenous to drop, and the Bighorn to drop. So if you still need any of those legendary and raid exotics, it's a very small chance, but you can get them. They will be lower than level 40 when they drop, but you can reconfigure them later. So you finally reach level 40, whichever way you chose to do it. What do you do now? Well, first, you may notice a visual bug. This is new since the update when they combine the endgames. If you look at the top right corner there, I am only Shade Watch level 4. If I bring up my menu as well, you can see that is just 4, but my watch level was 2,500 and something. So where are all my levels? Again, this is just a visual bug if this is still a thing when you watch this video. All you got to do is reload the instance somehow to fix that. You can either relog the character or fast travel to New York. I have just relogged myself, and now you can see my watch level has sorted itself out. I got 2,559 watch level, and now I've reached this level 40. I've got the Arankina watch. It's just got to take me through the tutorial. Once you're done with the tutorial, this is where you can see how a Watch Mule works. So we've started a new character, we've got the character to end game, and we get the Arankina watch, and all of our shade levels carry over. Now I can respec these into these nodes if I want to, if I want to make this a proper character, but if I'm just using it for those watch levels, the bit you're interested in is the scavenging, because once you spent 200 watch levels on each of these nodes, which total 800, everything after that will go into scavenging. So 2,559 minus the 800 is 1,759. Now with these scavenging points, what I'm able to do is just invest them into materials, ceramics, polycarbonate, steel, all the way down to field recon data. But you'll notice that these values are all low because it's a new character. So before you do any of that, if you just head to Ainara at the crafting station at the base of operations, she's going to sell to you account shared blueprints and account shared materials. If you purchase these, you're going to share all of your blueprints and materials across all of your characters, which means you'll have the same materials as what's on your main. Now, before I buy these, I'm sure a few people down in the comments will say don't buy these first. Just a very quick tip. If you spend all of your scavenging watch points now to get your materials as high as you can, and let's say your main character is already capped out at all of these, when you buy the account shared materials, you will go above the caps. So just for example, your main character is on 9,999 polycarbonate. If I invest into this here to get this maxed out at 9,999 again, when I buy the account shared materials, I'll have just short of 20,000. It shows in red, and I don't do it myself because I think that's a little bit too cheesy, but it is something that people do, and it can be a better way to do it just to get more value from your resources. So I've just bought my account share blueprints, and it's brought over all of my materials from my main character. You can see I've got many more now, and it's up to you what you want to do at this point. You've got all of your watch levels available to spend here, and then use your resources to help you on the grind. This is where you can see from at the start of the video where I said the higher the watch level, the better. Because if you are only 1,000 watch level, you're only going to have 200 scavenging points to spend here. Whereas if you're 2,000, you're going to have 1,200. And as you can see, at just over 2,500, I've got over 1,700 to spend. If you've got a watch level of, say, something like 10,000, you're going to have an incredible amount of points to spend here, which is going to allow you to really invest in your build or expertise or things like that. So in terms of like optimizing your builds, you can use the crafting station here, and as long as you got a hold of all these optimization materials, you're able to spend resources to create the stuff that you need to optimize your builds, and you can keep on investing in the resources that you run out of with your watch points while you've got them, and you can get your builds optimized. But one of my favorite ways of using a Watch Mule is for expertise. So expertise is a huge grind, but you can grind it by using resources. And one of the best resources to do that is printer filaments. So if we just quickly go into something I still need to do. So let's say backpacks here. And if I scroll down to something I still need to make proficient, so the liquid engineer. If I go into that and research, I can view donation materials. And it's quite expensive for some of the other materials, but printer filament only costs 30. And I can keep on investing in this to get it proficient. And it's only using 30 a pop. Now, as I make things proficient and I start running out of resources, this is where I'm going to use my Watch Mule, or the levels that I've got. I'm going to go into my watch, I'm going to go into scavenging, and I'm just going to max out the printer filament. So we're going to go in there and we're going to keep on buying 50 at a time until we've maxed this out. It cost me less than 1,000 scavenging points to get that to the cap there or thereabouts. And I'm now able to go back into my expertise and keep on going to make things proficient with the printer filament that I have available. So if I've got a few friends and for just about 15 minutes of grinding with those friends, I can get a new character and spend all my watch levels and get plenty of expertise done. I've just done that and I've just ran out of watch levels. And once I've done that now, I want them back. So all I've got to do is just delete the character and go again. So just make sure you are deleting the right character, because you don't want to get rid of your main or anything like that. I'm going to delete this character here in slot 4, and then once deleted, I've got another character slot to start again and rinse and repeat. And that is everything for this beginner's guide to Watch Mules in 2024. Now, before we end, anytime I do a Watch Mule video, I get comments saying that this is cheating, this is hacking, this can risk getting you banned. I assure you it is not. You are just taking advantage of the in-game mechanics. You are doing nothing out of the ordinary. So for example, it is a mechanic where if you start a new character, you are given your watch levels when you get to end game. You are using mechanics available on the game to do that as quick as possible. You are not changing or altering the game in any way to give yourself an advantage. These mechanics are all available to you. You're doing nothing out of the ordinary, and then once you got those watch levels, you are able to spend them as intended by the game. So do not worry about that. I do 100% agree that this is quite cheesy. It can kill the grind. If you watch me regular, I don't really do this. I do the video. I do the odd Watch Mule now and then, but I've pretty much done 90% of my grind properly and legit, as they say. However, not everybody has the time to spend on this game like I do, and I do think this is a great way to get stuff done once you get that high watch level. I hope I've covered everything in this video today. If I haven't, do post a question down below in the comments. I'll answer. Let me know what you think of the video. Do post down below any other tips that you have for people watching this. Don't forget to hit like. Don't forget to subscribe. And until next time, thank you for watching. Stay safe and peace out.